Hey, what's going on? You're watching Music Exclusives TV. I'm your host, Tabitha Williams, and tonight we are at SOB's for Soul Village. We have a special guest. He really doesn't need an introduction. Multi-platinum, singing, songwriting. It's RL, y'all. Keep watching.
You know you're sexy too. I like your attitude. I ain't even. You know what? Nah, check this out. This is Mr. Butterlove himself. You might know me as RL, formerly of Next. Keep it locked. MusicExclusives.com.
And we're back. How are you?
I am amazing.
Well, you just finished a great performance.
Thank you.
At SOB Soul Village. You did some oldies and your new music.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
I always try to add something to the show. Usually it's one or two, but since I had the special guest, I just kept it to one. But I want to show people that nothing's changed, that I've evolved, but there's a consistency with my music. So I always try to add something that I'm working on. Some of the records might never come out, but I have so many, I'll test them on an audience to see how it works out. So yeah.
How do you feel about ageism in R&B? Because truthfully, the style is back. 90s style is back. Everybody's wanting to do what was in the 90s, but not necessarily giving the credit to 90s acts.
Well, I think that people just want new. I think in our urban communities, it's always about the next thing. And for me, it's kind of discouraging because they do want to put you in a box, and they complain about certain artists trying to sound young or trying to dumb their music down. But then you have other artists out here working really hard that just aren't going to be heard. And, you know, we talked about it earlier where cats are just putting out music and no one's ever hearing it. And I'd rather just continue to do those oldie but goodies and hold on to these records that I'm sitting on and, you know, throwing one out there here and there, you know, just to get the audience's reaction, than trying to drop an album on Run Up in Your Crib Productions and, you know, and no one ever hearing it. So, yeah, I mean, I think that it's an issue, but I think it boils down to just somebody at a label that has enough power giving you an opportunity.
Your catalog of work, I mean, the songs that you've written, clearly lets people know that you're not to be put in a box at all. What can we expect with this new project?
I remember a time when you might like 3 or 4 records on the album at first, but then you might be driving on a road trip and you let it play through, and all of a sudden you find yourself singing along to 2 or 3 others, and then you get in your homeboy or your girlfriend's car and they got 2 other favorites, and you go, oh, well, I didn't, you know, oh yeah, I do like this record. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day a few years later and you realize that album is a classic because you could play it from front to back. That's what I want with my album. That's why I'm calling it 515, because I was born at 5:15, and I wake up every day like I've never had any success. Tomorrow when I wake up, it'll be like I never had a great show last night. Honestly, because that's where the hunger comes from. I want you to hear the hunger and passion in my voice and hear the growth and evolution. I still have comfort in knowing that it's almost like an old blanket you had. You still want it washed and clean, but you know the comfort you get from it. I think a lot of times you go buy an artist's album and all of a sudden you're waiting for the baby making music and they're trying to turn up, and you're like, wait a minute, this ain't what I want from you. So I want to give you what you want, but I want to give it to you the way you don't even realize you need it.
Well, what the people want to know is, what's the story with Next? Yay or nay?
To be honest, I don't even know. Right now my focus is just making music and living drama free. I mean, that's what it is. I love them. If we could come together and make some great music and handle some good business, of course. It's not an ego thing. It isn't the RL got the big head and wanted to do a solo album. To be honest, I didn't want to do a solo album. It was never that. I just love great music. I love being, you know, in the studio with them and creating and doing the things we did. But being away from them allowed me to grow and gain an inner confidence in myself that I didn't have before.
You showed a whole lot of confidence with that nude photo doing the Heisman. How did that come about?
I have a record on the album. One of my favorites is called Running. And it's talking about how men always run in relationships because of our fear and our insecurities. I feel like men are more insecure than women, and we don't have the support system that women have. So we can't go cry to our homeboys and put our head on their shoulder. That's not how it works. At least I can't with my homeboys. I don't know what y'all could do. But they took the picture out of context and put it out there thinking I'm trying to, I don't know, be a
So what was it? For you, it was just promotion for running?
no, it's really a part of my blog. They took it from my blog because the whole song came about from a story I wrote about my insecurities and, you know, fears and relationships and about running. And sometimes as an artist, you can go too left. You're thinking it sounded good and it was good in my head. And, you know, I ended up taking a picture and it was supposed to be for art. And people took it out of context and felt like it was me trying to show off my body or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't think the response was negative. I haven't heard anything negative at all. And I know earlier today the photo was being passed around and the ladies were definitely wishing that you moved your hands a little bit to the left. So, complete this sentence for me. RL is
Scared.
scared of
Failure, of letting friends and family down, of not being sure that I'm going about things the right way, because there's so many people in this industry that are saying, you should do it this way. You should drop a record and, you know, just put it on iTunes and SoundScan and just promote it yourself or somebody else. You should get an investor and do it. You should go to a major. You should go to an independent. There's all these voices of people telling you what's best for yourself. And I'm just scared every day. Fear, it's a healthy fear. It's not a shaking in my boots fear. It's a fear where I think twice before every move I make.
Well, there you have it. I am your host, Tabitha Williams, here with RL in his most vulnerable state, telling you about his new music coming out. And it is entitled 515. Make sure to go get it and subscribe to musicexclusives.com. Leave some comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.